Kemdrum yoga or Kemdrum yoga. This is the yoga that occurs when there are no planets sitting with the moon or either side of the moon. This excludes Rahu and Ketu. So this means that basically, if say for example, moon is sitting in Aries, there is no planet in Taurus or no planet in Pisces. This is Kemdrum yoga. It has got connotations from the past that creates poverty. But in fact, if you look at many famous people, you will see that they actually have this yoga, and this can create a lot of success because the person learns through difficult situations. They stand up on their own 2 feet and make success happen for them. So what is Kemdrum yoga? Okay, so as I said, this can occur if moon is with Rahu and Ketu as well. And this is basically gives the person doesn't feel supported, particularly I would say the first 18 years of their life. As obviously as we mature and the planets mature, you learn to cope with these situations completely differently, so they don't become such an issue. And also having a Kemdrum yoga in your D1 or your natal chart doesn't mean that it's kind of defines your life, because obviously you've got to look at your D9 and D10 and D7 and D4. You know, all of these other Vargas or divisional charts, they all have a say as well. So it could just be a part of your life that you felt unsupported. And this is how I would actually talk about this, because this will be somebody who feels that a part of their life is unsupported. So it doesn't mean that they feel unsupported completely about everything in their life. This can create self-confidence and self-esteem issues. Obviously, person can be very punishing of self. Person can be thinking, overthinking, and can become therefore a bit judgmental about themselves and the world outside, others as well. It more than anything, it kind of creates loneliness, because obviously moon is the planet that actually refers to masses. So consequently, being on its own, it can overthink, it can become anxious and fearful, and obviously because they feel as though they have to make decisions completely on their own. This is the decision that they make actually. So you can. This is why I really want to sort of like talk about astrology, because a lot of these things are what we are born with innately. But it doesn't mean that they don't define us going forward. And the moment we have awareness, we can make so many changes to ourselves and to our lives and also to our future. So the person with this will be like maybe shy a little bit, particularly if the ascendant or the ascendant lord is weak. And so they might find that, if they have to make a big decision, they're very much troubled by it, and they don't seek advice from family or really good friends. So they could just like feel as though the burden of life is on their shoulders. So they're carrying a heavy weight. So this person obviously is always trying to stabilize self and stabilize their mind and cope with the challenges or ups and downs of life. And I guess in a sense they will go through quite a few of the ups and downs of life, because that is the nature of life and a lonely moon, because it will be overthinking everything. And I'm not saying that they don't necessarily go through ups and downs, they probably will, but they once they actually kind of like see the world from completely different aspect and start seeing just the deficiencies, but actually look at the fruits of their life, then they can actually make things really happen. And a lot of go-getters and successful people in this world have actually got Kemdrum yoga, because they have put a lot of effort, a lot of energy to kind of stabilize their thinking, their mind, and push forward. So they become very much self-made people. And because they go through a lot of challenges of the mind, then they can actually become really good counselors and advisory and coaches in life as well, because they just generally they have that empathy and sympathy with people, and they can like literally connect with people on a completely different level. And it's like, brain is, at the end of the day, is a muscle like any other muscle. So the more you tap into it, the more you can get out of it. It can be trained to think well, to think positively, and little by little you can actually add on that and create a better life and better mind for yourself. And so you can see a lot of self-made people here, just through sheer determination, getting on with life. And basically, they have to kick habits that no longer serve them. Particularly if the moon is in a 6th, 8th, or 12th house, where they can feel as though they sink in life, and obviously because these are Dushtana houses and they create issues. And if they try not to actually trying to sort of like band-aid the issue with drinking or overeating or gambling or whatever, they just kind of do things to self-help. So do like read self-help books, talk to somebody, see a psychotherapist, and you normally see that they do become really good psychotherapists and just give more to the world. So, and that will write off some of their karma as well with this. But this definitely does get better, and there are certain things that cancel it anyway. So like if the moon is in a Kendra or an angle from the ascendant, that gets cancelled. Any support from Jupiter will be great anyway. So any aspect from Jupiter will be great as well, because Jupiter and moon just generally support one another really well. If the moon is in good condition, if it's bright, so it's a waxing moon, that will also create more opportunities to get out of these poor habits. Or if it's exalted, own house, or getting sort of like directional strength as well, if it's in the 4th house. So all of those things can sort of help. Obviously, the dasha of the moon, particularly when you're young, can be quite difficult. So if you have children who have this, you really want to be supportive of them. Encourage them to talk, because problem shared is a problem halved, really. So you don't want them to have that burden on them from a young age. And really, I think people who have got a strong ascendant lord, or beneficial aspects to the ascendant and ascendant lord, they actually come through this pretty well. And also just to realize things just naturally get better anyway as you get older, because you just learn to cope with challenges of life. And I can just tell you, one of the I mean, there are so many people who have this, so many actors and entrepreneurs, like for example Donald Trump. He has moon with K2 in his 4th house, so it's got directional strength, the moon, but it is in Scorpio. So there you are, and it has made a success out of that, hasn't he? So in whichever way we want to discuss that. So I don't want you to be worried about these things, and also look at the other Vargas and just see, because it could just be that you need to concentrate on work, because that way your moon has got fantastic placement and it's being much more supported by other planets. So that's great. Okay, I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.